Hello, Algebra 2s. Let's go ahead and take a look at the key for this homework review. So it's a homework of 17A, which is where we talked about operations with functions. When we get to 17B, we're going to talk about inverses. And we didn't quite finish that in our lesson last week, so we'll go through and talk about that too. You want to make sure that you are remembering to review. You want to make sure that you review because you will have a test on this second half of Unit 1 on Friday. So we want to be ready to go for that for sure. All right, so let's say we have these four functions. We have an f of x function that is 2x plus 1. A g of x function, which is negative 5x minus 3. J of x is x squared minus 25. And k of x is 2x. When they ask us to perform the indicated operation, we need to make sure we know what are they asking for. So here, they want us to put negative 4 into the j function. So if I look at my j function, I know that j of negative 4 is going to be equal to whatever that x value squared minus 25. And they're telling us to go ahead and put a negative 4 in there. So we get 16 minus 25, which has a value then of negative 9. So let's look at this one. G minus j of 3. So what they're asking us here is to take our j function, which is x squared minus 25, and to put a 3 inside of that. Then they want us to subtract our g function. So our g function is negative 5 times some x value minus 3, and they're asking us to put that 3 in here. So this 3 and this 3 are here. Here is my j function minus my g function. And we need to make sure that this negative sign gets shared out. All right, so we're going to go ahead and have 9 minus 25, which is going to subtract. And then we'll have negative 15 minus 3. So let's clear out these parentheses first. So we'll have 9 minus 25. Negative 15 minus 3 is going to be negative 18. But when I have minus a negative, that's going to work out to plus a positive for 18. All right. So when we go ahead and subtract 9 minus 25, we get negative 16. Negative 16 plus positive 18 is going to give us a value of 2. So sorry I went into the other box there, but sometimes it's easier to just work vertically and then box your answers. All right, so now we have f plus g of x. So we'll pause the video and then you come back and see if we agree on how to set it up. So our f function is 2x plus 1. Our g function is negative 5x minus 3. And notice they don't give us a value for the variable. So because we don't have an x value, the best that we can do here is just to combine like terms. So positive 2x's, negative 5x's is minus 3x's. Positive 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So if I have a value for the variable, I can plug it in and away I go. But until that happens, I'm just going to leave it as an algebraic expression. All right, let's set up f and g, but instead of adding, this time we're going to be multiplying. So we'll take the same 2x plus 1, and we're going to multiply that by negative 5x minus 3. Notice again, I don't have a value for the variable, so the best I can do is just simplify what I can. These are two algebraic expressions multiplied by each other, so we'll go ahead and use FOIL. The product of our first terms, negative 10x. The product of our outside terms, minus 6x. Inside terms, minus 5x. And our last terms is going to be 1 times negative 3. All right, oops, I forgot my squared here. 2x times negative 5x is negative 10x squared. So negative 10x squared minus 11x minus 3. If I had a value for x, I could plug it in, but until I do, this is going to have to do. All right, let's look at the product of k and j. So when we look at k, that's going to be positive 2x. And j is going to be x squared minus 25. So when I multiply them together, I'm going to distribute this 2x to both this term and my second term. So I'll have 2x cubed minus 50x. And we're good to go. All right, so we have k plus g minus x. So k is 2x. G of x is negative 5x minus 3, and that's going to be minus f of x, which is 2x plus 1. So we have 2x and negative 5x makes negative 3x minus 3. And then this subtraction, remember this like having a coefficient of 1, and that sign is going to impact both of these. So it's going to be minus 2x minus 1. So I'll have negative 5x's, minus 3 minus 2. Minus 3 minus 1 of my constants gives me negative 5x minus 4. All right, let's check out f minus g of x. F is equal to 2x plus 1, and g is equal to negative 5x minus 3, and I'm subtracting them. So it looks similar to this one here where I was adding, but here now I'm subtracting. I don't have a value for x, so I'm good to go with 2x plus 1 plus 5x, because my minus is going to cancel that negative out and this one. So it's going to be plus 3. So we'll have 7x's plus 4 constants. Now this is what we call a composite function, and that's where it's embedded. So we're going to put negative 3 into g first, and then that answer into f. So if we look at what this looks like, we're going to take our f of x, and f of x is 2 times x plus 1. And what's going to go in for x is what happens as the result of our g. So we'll take negative 5 times its x value minus 3. So here we have this negative 3 goes into my x for my g function, negative 5 times x minus 3. That output is going to be in for my x for my f. And we work our way from the inside out. So let's see, we have 2 times that x value. And what we get here is negative 5 times negative 3, which is positive 15. Positive 15 minus 3 sounds like 12. So 12 is the output of g of f of 3, and now of g of f of negative 3. Now I'll put that in for my x value. 2 times 12 is 24. So my value of 25 is going to be for that value. Now here, instead of putting a value in, I'm just going to put a function in. So g of f of x. So let's go get my g function, which is negative 5 times an x value minus 3. And for that x value, what goes inside here is going to be f of x, which is 2x plus 1. Now I can simplify it, because this went in for my x, and then I have this whole expression that I can work with. So that sounds like negative 10x minus 5 minus 3. So negative 10x minus 8 is going to be my value of g of f of x. I don't know what x is equal to. When I do, I can plug it in. So what's interesting is this new notation means the same thing. So some kids find it's j of f of x. Some kids like to instead rewrite it like this, because they can see then that f of x is what goes into j. These two things say the same exact thing. So I'm going to go get my j function, and my j function is equal to my x input value squared minus 25. So what I'm going to do is put that f of x, 2x plus 1, in for the x. My f of x function, which is 2x plus 1, goes in for the x on my j. Alright, so when I go to simplify, I have to FOIL this, because that's 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1, and then minus 25. So my first terms, 4x squared, my inside terms, or my outside terms, 2x, and then inside and outside, and then plus 1, minus 25. Combine like terms, 4x squared plus 4x. These two can be combined, minus 24. So here is going to be my algebraic expression.